ESPN, you good? Okay. All right, Coach, you can start us off.
All right, first off, congrats to Georgia. They played extremely hard today and played physical, tackled really well on defense, and really dominated us on the other side of the ball. To have over 10+ yards per play, I don't know if I've been a part of that on defense. So not a good recipe to come in after 14-14, not play well against the number one team in a hostile environment. So add us to the list of whatever, 43-1 in their last 44.
Lane, do you have any update on Jackson?
Yeah, he was able to return after getting checked out, and just didn't see a need at that point to put him back in.
Questions?
I guess Lane, with Micah Pettis not being available and then Jaden going out in the middle of the game, obviously you have to play the hand you're dealt, but just how difficult was that to kind of work with, and it was just results speak for itself, recording the way that.
This is what it is. It's part of the game, but obviously not exactly the ideal defense. You want to be playing without your right tackle, and then right a few snaps into the game, lose the next tackle that you have in there playing. So guys had to move guys around a lot, and we lost the center late too. So it is what it is.
Was there anything specifically on offense that Georgia was doing that you think was really kind of the catalyst for why they were so successful tonight on that side of the ball?
And you got their tackle back and tight end back, and we didn't tackle, and they got really physical backs. And I said it during the week, I think that offense is overlooked, because it's a defensive-made team, I think people think, but that's a really good offense, and that was a concern. We really hadn't played no disrespect, a really elite passer for a while, probably since LSU, and just concerned that may show up today, and if we don't do everything we need to do, and certainly did.
Lane, I think you guys are the only team that's faced both Alabama and Georgia at this point in the season. This seems to play in 4 weeks in the SEC Championship. I know it's in the immediate aftermath of this, but how would you compare those two teams after what you've seen?
Well, I think every week's different, and every game is independent of each other. Obviously, you look at our two games, and they were just figuring out their quarterback situation. We played them. These guys obviously look like a lot better team today than Alabama did that day, but that don't matter. It's not. That was about a couple months ago. So we got our own problems to work on, and need to get back home and win our 9th game. These guys can battle out in the SEC Championship and figure it out.
Lane, what needs to happen for Ole Miss as a program to be able to compete with a team like this?
That's a good question. We got to recruit at a higher level, and I'm not blaming people. We got to coach better, but at some point, whatever those stats are, we've signed 1 5-star, they've signed 24 or something. Those kind of do show up at some point. So we'd have to recruit it at a better level, do a better job recruiting.
I know you mentioned that you said you guys don't talk about the college football playoff, but does it make the loss kind of tougher at all, knowing that was that second loss, and the chance to get in the playoff obviously become much tougher because of that?
No, I think you covered us. I think I'm very realistic. That was not a champion, or that was not a playoff-looking team at all that we put out there today, and so the last thing I'm worried about is that knock us out of the playoffs. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs, or a conversation about it.
Questions?
Like, do you speak to Georgia's offensive line? It seemed like they were really able to control the line.
Yeah, that's about as successful a day as you can have. Keeping the quarterback clean, very few incompletions, run for 300 yards. I think getting their tackle back helped, and they got really good backs, and did a really good job coaching too.
I guess similarly, what was obviously you've been able to get after teams with talented offensive lines before. How much for pass rush today? What was the difference that you saw?
I felt the same thing you felt. We said we just couldn't get any pass rush, and guys sat back there a long time, and guys got really open. You know, that's kind of usually a recipe to have 60 plays for 600 yards. It's usually going to be a recipe of bad tackling and good protection, and getting guys open.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks guys. We'll have players in shortly.